G'day mate and welcome back to Factorio with me, JD. So this is the last stream of 2018. It's the last stream of the Saving Santa map, which we're actually going to split into two episodes. First half is going to be a base tour, covering the main base and all the little outpost bases, I guess you could call them. And the second half we're actually going to meet Santa. So I really hope you guys enjoy this episode, going through a base tour, which is a totally unique sort of base. Having to mine out every single tile to be able to build on it is very, very different. It's something I've never ever had to do before. Along with, in the second half, we'll actually get to meet Santa, which is something that we've been working up the whole month towards. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll let you get back to old me. Yeah, it's been a wild map. It's been flat out, it's been busy, it's been everything actually this month. It's been really interesting. So, where do we start? At the same time, I'm going to do a sort of a base tour, along with a couple of other things. So, the whole point of this community map was all the way back over here was to save this artillery turret from dying. Okay, that was the whole goal for the whole month, and we've actually managed to do that for 400 hours worth, which is about 15-16 days straight, which is not bad because the map was re-rolled like 4 times. It didn't actually start till the 4th of the month or something. So it's had about 20 days out of 30 days playtime on this, on the map, on the server. Currently, I'm actually playing an offline copy, because the server gives me a little bit more UPS, but Santa is coming today, and Santa unfortunately sucks up all the UPS. Hey Enrico, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the final episode. So yeah, this lovely artillery cannon pumps out a couple of boilers worth of pollution, which increase exponentially as the server runs for longer and longer. Hence, our pollution cloud is that really dark, thick red colour. Even Muppet Space all the way over here is covered in pollution. We've got plenty of snow. Turns out snow does not absorb pollution. And we've helped the snow with concrete. Because, yeah, snow's slow to walk in. Yeah, Enrico, final episode. Santa is arriving today. So yeah, we started off with a fairly small starting area. Probably about the size of the screen, roughly. Maybe a little bit more. And we're running the dangerous mod, so you can't build anywhere where there's ore. So everything that's not on the screen now was covered in ore, apart from lakes. Alright, so we've mined out all that area, which does explain why we currently have 10 million compressed oil, 10 million compressed coal in storage, which was a mod that I had to install, which takes 20 coal and turns it into 1 coal brick. And then we've been doing a lot of burning coal bricks because it's more efficient. Well, it's less efficient, but it gets rid of the stuff faster. So yeah, I'm actually down in my outpost because people started fractioning off and making their own little outposts. We had somebody come hard west. We had a couple of people go hard east. We had Stinson go up and take over Stinson Island. We had Wedwer come down and grab his little lake. There's like 3 people that come grab this lake. And have failed to hold onto the lake. It's blown up. Peanut came and grabbed a decent sized lake and then had another smaller one down here, which he literally turned into nothing but warehousing because he was just mining so much with such a large surface area. He needed someone to store it. So that's Peanut Warehousing and Co., which he couldn't reach originally. He had to dig so far, both from the north and from the south, to then get power there, to then get a logi range there. Same as I've had to do the same. My lake was probably about that, And Kyle was here first, and Kyle blew it up because he failed. He didn't have enough power. And then I've pushed the lake well and truly out. I've captured this lake here. There was another lake here. This was a whole another lake I've landfilled. There were 3 or 4 lakes down here that I've landfilled each one of them in to sort of make them part of my greater isle. And you can see, you know, there's some interesting patterns going on. I'm using lots of car miners. So 3 miners into a car, inserter into a car, add more miners onto a belt that then runs off, merges lots of belts together to then get compressed. And a couple of these auto miners here as well. I've got one that just brings in a full belt's worth of ore and compresses it. And a diagonal one here trying to reach Peanut's base, which obviously won't happen. Enrico, I dare you to look at the map in non-radar mode and turn on the electrical network. Oh, that's fine. That's special. That's special. It's these ones down here that really make you consider. Like, mine's not neat at all. Hey, Faceless. Good morning, mate. But yeah, today is the 31st of December. Today is the last day. Today is the day that Santa has to arrive. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go through my mining setup and why I gained so much territory, because I've also got 5.8 million compressed iron with 3.7 million compressed copper and 1.9 compressed coal and some stone and some uranium. So my mining method involved lots of cars. And that car's full of crap. That car's also full of crap. So mine was very, very, very manual intensive. But it also gained ground the quickest because I had the most miners on the ground at most of the time. I gotta get power in there, so you're gonna have to go away. Extend that pipe. Move the substation further forward. Put speed modules in you. I need that gone. Put speed modules in there. Come on, empty the car. So yeah, as soon as I've got a free square, I can then, using blueprints, where are they? Nope, the wrong miner, that miner. Go 1, 2, 3, drop a car in the middle, drop an inserter, and I've just gained another couple of squares. A little bit more difficult if it requires uranium. But, you know, the theory is much the same. You don't want speed modules, because these cars fill up actually really quickly. So yeah, that's been my principle basically the whole way along. Just pushing forward, and although a stack insert is more than enough to empty these cars fast enough, what actually happens is there's a little bit of iron in here, so the inserter grabs the iron. Then there's a little bit of copper, so the inserter grabs the copper. And then consequently, like stone or coal or something in these cars always backs up. So it does require a quick run around every now and then to just like empty the cars in your inventory and have bots deal with it. We do have long reach research, so the reach distance is getting further and further, so it's not that bad, although like that one's chockers. And it's not a lack of the inserter doesn't have anywhere to put stuff. It's purely just that the way inserters work and the chest filling up as fast as it's being emptied, that it doesn't work 100% of the time. So Enrico, no, the electric network is not nearly as bad as you would think. Mainly because there's been lots of auto miners. In fact, so I've got 2 auto miners. Who was it? Youthorn and Wedwer, who has his own little base here, came down and landfilled this whole whole lake and also connected into Frost's little outpost. And have been attempting to mine out the little bits of area on here. And also put down a bit more power. Because the whole time I've built my little base, it's been running on boilers, fed with compressed coal, fed into steam turbines because they take up less space than a steam engine. But it means I've always had a power situation I've got to be aware of, because there ain't exactly a lot of free space to add more power. So yeah, I've really had to watch my power usage. In saying that, every single miner you see on the screen will be filled with speed modules. And the auto miners up here have speed beacons as well, just to really push them forward, because why not? In fact, this whole thing will move forward again another 2 tiles when this one's empty, which is 10,000, 20, 25,000, 30,000. You know, 25,000 ore, so there's a little bit to go. Oh, you guys don't have power. Substation, move further forward. We've all got fairly extensive robot networks, and the idea is to try and keep the robots as low as possible for UPS reasons. Like in my whole base, I have a couple of miners dumping into chests, but I've only got 800 active robots. Wedwer has... Where's Roboport? What's that? 600? Stinson's probably the best example. He's got 150. Because most of his are auto miners that are on belts. He does have this lovely belt that snakes all the way around the base, picking up ore from everywhere and depositing it into his compressor build, whatever you want to call it. The main base is not nearly as good, I have to say. Maybe it's died down. Oh, it's died down. It's only 400 bots. So it's not bad. But they're actually doing deliveries. Everything in the main base is these lovely 99 tile wide auto miners that just, they clear 2 tiles worth of ore, and then they move forward 2 tiles, and then clear another 2 tiles worth of ore and move forward another 2 tiles. Anyway, so when we were in Youthon, went and got a power network from here to this island, which then meant we could dump down these massive arrays for lots and lots of power. In saying that, it's probably doubled my power, available power, but then the guys also put down lots of beacon builds to use up all the power that was available. Actually, let's get rid of that before we go too far. So, again, another couple of auto miners. There's one... Ooh, get out of the way. There's one up here trying to push north ever so slowly. You know, there's a miner that only needs 2,000 ore left, and then it'll move forward 2 tiles. There's a power setup. There's another ore compressor. You know, this is bot fed rather than belt fed. There are the giant power arrays with the water well pumps at the top, which actually need speed modules because they're that long. They don't actually produce water fast enough without the speed modules. And you know, they give a little bit of power. You know, 30 odd boilers, 40 odd boilers, whatever it is. Like another one here, a shorter one here because we ran out of room. So these are all the... This is really start at the end of the base. You know, the end of the playthrough. These are sort of the last things created. We got another auto miner here. We've got a whole beacon build of stuff that we don't need. The boys decided they'd be really smart and they'd automate discharge defense. That was their joke. To build a whole mega base with beacon builds and everything to automate discharge defense. To really see what I would do. So I did the most logical thing you could. I stood far away. I picked up an artillery remote. And I, in map view, painted the area to make sure it'd go away. And then, because we were running the dangerous ore, I put down 1 tile worth of ore. Just one. Just one. I just took out power. Yeah, also because we're running the dangerous mod. Anything that explodes ends up on the ground. I'm going to run out of belts if you guys keep doing that, bots. Wait till the artillery finishes raining down. No. Wait some more. We're done? We got more artillery shells? Yeah, there's another one incoming. Oh, there's more. Okay, we're going to go stand over here for a minute. No, you have power. Yay, fix the power problem. Yeah, there's a few artillery shells. You know, there's 17 artillery, 19 artillery. Basically, anywhere where an artillery can shoot a biter, it does, because also up the biters in this particular monthly challenge. Expansion parties are every 1 minute. 1 to 3 minutes. There we go. We can see some artillery auto-firing right now. And... oh, that's a new spawner. That's going to get targeted in a second. That was a spawner that just appeared. That's already being targeted by artillery and taken out. Also, the biters will expand not up to the walls, but one chunk inside the walls is what they've been set to. So, if you don't have artillery and some lasers and make sure the biters keep their distance, if they get a foothold, they'll start dropping bases inside your walls, because they really don't mind. So yeah, back to the boys. The boys thought in their infinite wisdom they'd make some discharge defense. I put down a single tile of ore. 10 million. 10 million ore. And I said, if you guys mine that out, you can build it. So they did the logical thing and built right beside it. But they did install a new counter. JD was not happy with this. This is the amount of ore left. It's going to take a while. Yeah, it's going to take a very, very long while. I think it updates every couple of seconds, couple of minutes. I'm not sure. You know, I don't know why they didn't add beacons. But yeah, that was my solution. You know, here's 10,000 ore. Yeah, 10 million ore. You mine through that and build whatever discharging thingamajiggy-bobby you want. Auto trash. All of that, please. So yeah, the boys have been out here. They've put down their own compressors. They've started emptying these little pockets of ore that were in the middle of the lake. And as you can see, snow is awesome to run on. It's extra slow. So then we come up to Frostfire's base, which was more of an outpost. He sort of landfilled a lake and put down power and said, I'm good. Biters can't get me because there's only one entrance. And left it at that. And he's run out of... he's taken down like 500 nuclear fuel. A few times, actually. Oh, you're missing a burner inserter. Oh, bad luck. No, 500, like 2.4 thousand nuclear fuel. A couple of times, actually. And has run out of fuel more than once. Well, there you go. Thank you for the sub, Neilflix. 4 months in a row. Wow, man, you're back for more punishment. I appreciate it, man. Welcome back to the madhouse. And I didn't even see whether the... Did the thingy pop up? I didn't see. I wasn't looking. I hope the notification popped up. Enrico is hosting. See, that part worked. So yeah. Faceless built his own little base, which was like immune because the biters could only get in one way. And then I looked at the lakes and realized I could get a bot network from where these boys were all the way up to Peanut's base. Just. It's only got like one tile overlap, but that's all you need to get a bot network to connect. Can I get power there yet? Or power back yet? Because... that power pole gets to like here. And it's only, you know, 30-odd thousand ore that you'd have to dig up to put a single power pole there. So, it hasn't happened yet. Put this down so I can run a little bit faster. But yeah, they've made it to peanut. Which technically means, as this is potentially one giant network, there is a bridge here because I made the boys bridge it. Because I said, if you connect that crap to my base, you're going to have bots flying everywhere. And just to prove how bad an idea it is, actually, let's try two things. One, let's put a power pole there. No, I'm still short. I was really hoping overnight these two would get close enough. Yeah, I've got a bot network with 800 flying bots. Peanut's got a robot network with 800 flying bots. If I bridge the two, that's 2,000 bots. $2,000, come on, you're going to get to 3,000? No, 2.8 thousand bots are flying all over the place. Twilight, hey JD, how's your holiday? Holidays have been good. Holidays have been good, but today is Faceless built? I didn't build any. Okay, not Faceless, Frostfire. There you go. My bad. So yeah, this is why you don't have giant logistics networks. Because robots fly everywhere and you have thousands of active bots that you probably didn't need. I think all my bots ended up in his network. Yep. It's alright. They'll replenish over time. So, Peanut. Peanut's base. As I said, we're still going backwards in time. Starting at the end and working our way forward. Peanut's got a couple of auto miners. He's been fairly lazy, just doing everything with bots. This is one of the reasons why his base has been the most bot intensive for the whole time it's been running. He was lucky enough that he actually had enough room to put down nuclear power. Actually, a lot of the bases went with nuclear power. Nuclear power and robots, because one, they could, two, it's like easy mode. I went with coal and belts because I like a challenge. Of course I do. But yeah, he's got a couple of auto miners pushing out in all sorts of different directions. This one is broken. It's on. Alright, we'll cycle it forward. The bots literally come rip everything up. The inserter goes to there, and it puts the whole thing down 2 tiles further forward. And the bots come rebuild everything, hopefully. There has been a small instance of lazy bots every now and then. Can we really? You want to connect power through a ghost power pole? Okay. I don't like the idea of walking away and seeing lasers that don't exist and don't have power. That's probably going to lead to bad things. In fact, it has led to bad things a few times. Okay, help the bots out. They're good. All right. So that's how the auto miners work. Literally, when they receive a signal down this wire that says no more ore, they deconstruct. They move forward 2 tiles, and they rebuild themselves. So, and you will find there is a couple of these lines across the map where people have run like this across the map, laying down concrete, because it's faster. Any idea how many times the new one I put up crashed? I don't know, Faceless. I actually haven't been paying any attention to it. We'll go look at it now. I don't even know if it's running. I keep forgetting it's there. I know, I'm bad. So again, this is one of the auto miners. This is a really, really large one. Fatboy says, Fatboy Not so slim. Subscribe with a tier 1 sub. 4 months. Dude. Glutton for punishment. Welcome back. Wait, what the hell? Auto mining? Had no clue about this map. Looks like I have some VODs to catch up on. You certainly do. They're going out on YouTube. Like, have you not seen them on YouTube? I finally bought Factorio and I've got about 70 hours in playing in the last 9 days. I'm still trying to learn and not be an idiot. Maybe I'll join the community map next month. Next month's actually going to be interesting. I'm not saying any more than that. So yeah, this is another one of those auto miners set up. This is, I would say, faceless, that it broke because of that. And the root cause of that is one bit of invisible water. So I'd say we're fine. Yeah, this is Faceless's auto miner, which, if you remember the Olex Race to the Edge map, he had his controller move forward as well. And Faceless has done the exact same. This is the final version he came up with. Actually, dude, you already had the first version as well, didn't you? I think you were the first one to get an auto miner up and running. But yeah, this baby pushed itself forward and takes its whole controller brains with it. Whereas the other ones, like, where are we? They start with the controller hard up against the miner, and they end up like, you know, some of these, which is like, they've pushed all this distance forward. Or what's like these ones? These are pushed a massive distance forward. The fact that this is refined concrete means that's where it started. And then all this normal brick is what they've built after the fact. Because these blueprints actually automatically put down brick as well, which is cool. Because I updated the blueprint. Because nobody's told me I couldn't, so I did. So yeah, Faceless's one's probably the most advanced of the lot, because it steps itself forward. I'm assuming it magically leaves roboports behind it. I don't know. It unfortunately didn't spend enough time physically running to see how it went. But yeah, this is the Great Eastern Outpost, which was here and the base was back here, and this auto miner's run far enough forward, it's actually started swallowing the edge of the Great Eastern Outpost. Like there's no ore along half the auto miner anymore. So yeah, you know, when you automate the factory and leave it alone, it starts eating itself. Which is actually how we lost power like 3 times. Does it really matter if the brain's moved with it or not? No, it doesn't. I gave up on the third one that also handles trains because I couldn't figure out how to get the supply chain working properly. Well, I don't know. I installed the mod for Oleg, figuring he'd be here, and it turned out to be the 1 month that he went away, like away, right, on holidays. So yeah, but yeah, so the auto miners come down, they compress the ore in one of these compressing stations, which then feed onto the lovely trains, and we've got Lord Couture's train supply manager up and running. I have no idea how any of this works. It's a community map. I literally went offline one night, and then got a contact request from Muppet, who was setting it up, who had hard crashed the server, found a game-changing bug that Lord Couture had to update before I could get the server back up and running, and then update the mod a couple of hours later to fix it, because Muppet tried to do something that the mod wasn't designed for. But I do know it's definitely working on our map, doing a wonderful job, and we have unfortunately forced poor Lord Couture to update the mod about 5 times because we've found bugs that shouldn't exist. They're actual bugs, not features. And also, for the very first time ever, we actually have a 100% loop train track. This is a one-way only train track that literally goes around the whole base. This is all the drop-offs, so I could bring ore in and potentially take ore out if like, you know, there's an iron drop-off over here, if there's no trains out and about at these compressing stations that has iron, it can get it from the base and bring it back out. But yeah, we have a 100% loop. Technically, if the stations were designed a little bit better, we could have used one-directional trains. But yeah, it is what it is. And I see people typing in chat for mods. The mod list has been updated. One more mod has been added. The server is currently offline. It will be brought back up when the stream finishes. Oh, the other thing is, who was it? It was Blooper. Blooper made this, I guess you could call it smart. Where's one that hasn't been modified a whole heap? This one. A smart requesting system. So, a couple of constant combinators with some other combinators that do combinatory things. Pumps all that into a requester chest that basically counts what's in the storage chest and says if it's not here, if it's put... So, I want these items in this storage network. If it's not here, request it. So it requests in, and we all know bots over deliver. So then we've got a filter inserter that says if there's too much crap in here that shouldn't be in here, we'll pump it out to a normal chest, which will then take it back to an active provider and force it back to the normal network. What's being attacked? Oh, my base. Yeah, there's a RIP drones area because the biters used to path in here and the robots were flying back and forth and there were some casualties. Where's losses? Yeah, just a few casualties. Actually, it's not too bad. We've lost more construction robots than logistics robots. I thought it'd be the other way around. We have lost 8,000 miners. How many speed modules? Oh, really? Speed modules are not tracked in losses because they're in the miner. Well, there's a bug. I've had a bug. I don't see speed modules there at all. I haven't killed any speed modules either, so that's always a bonus. I have no idea how we killed 150 underground belt. Okay, so where were we? Base 2 is still. So let's go north first. So up here, here we go. Here was Santa's secret nuclear base, aka the North Pole. So right about here was a chunk of water that was like miles away from the main base. And a couple of auto miners, and about 10 days later, it became part of the main base. Then this auto miner ate it, which started, well, it's already been moved forward twice. It started about back here, and it's been moved forward a few times. Actually, there's an S combinator. So this has taken 56 steps forward, which is what the S number is. It does not hold the record. The first recursive blueprint one made 156 steps forward at 3 tiles? No, it was a 2 tile stepper. So it's moved forward that many times, and it literally went from here to that's the edge of it before we had to retire it because it was starting to eat the western outpost entirely. It actually ate all the controllers for these 3-4 auto miners, which were all positioned very carefully at the edge. They got eaten first, and then it kept going. So yeah. So yeah, there was the Santa's North Pole up here, which, like I said, got eaten by an auto miner. Let me go faster. We've got another corner-aimed miner here, which is... It's having difficulty thinking about things. So, I've actually been running this manually for about a day or so. By literally just dumping down miners and set and forget. Nope, that's all the refined concrete I have. And yes, most of the ground is refined concrete. And yes, refined concrete is very, very, very expensive. And it probably explains why we've had an iron shortage for the whole game. So up here is Stinson's base. Stinson was actually the first, or maybe one of the first, to branch out into his own itty-bitty tiny base, starting in a lake that is not much bigger than his power. Unfortunately, he hasn't been here for the last 10 days, so progress sort of stopped because he made it very, very clear that other people couldn't join Stinson Isle. It was self-imposed exile. Eventually, I called it and said, no, it's run out of power twice. Free for all, go nuts. So it's got a couple of auto miners up here to keep it moving. In saying that, it has run out of power like 3 times with the auto miners running because they've all got speed modules in them and it's running on coal power. In fact, it's running on about 120 megawatts worth of power. That's it. It doesn't have a lot of headroom. Again, it's got an auto miner pushing down towards the main base. These two were never going to meet because, you know, this is like 3,000 ore per tile. It's not the worst. Peanut actually, I think, had it pretty much the worst at like 7,000 per tile, with only 5,000 on the other side. We did set up another auto miner to strike fast, to go straight for Peanut's base through Wedware's base, which we haven't got to yet, and it made it that far. It has been running non-stop, pretty much. It just, yeah, didn't make it very far. So yeah, okay, so that's that one, we have Muppet Space, which I am literally only going to look at via radar, because as far as self-imposed exile goes, Muppet really went for it. He came through this lake, ignored this lake. West Pole died entirely. Through this lake to Muppet Sanctuary, which is very, very, very tiny. Is using miners to transfer acid because you can't build on the ore unless it's a miner. So you can see inserters moving ore and miners being used as pipes to get acid around the base. And he has like 12,000 ore per tile. He's really built himself into a corner where he can build and landfill, but he's never going to get another tile at all. In fact, the whole time he's been here, which is about 2 weeks, the white area is all the area he's gained by completely mining it out, which is not that much. Not in 2 weeks of a miner running non-stop. Okay, well, doesn't the kill count only count moving placeable entities? I would assume it would count. So if it counts a miner, I'm assuming if the miner has speed modules in it, it would count it. Obviously, it doesn't. It's a bit of a weird. Okay, so the Great Western Outpost. Same story, pretty much. Well, actually, we started here, as I said. And there was a great struggle to get up through some uranium to oil. And you had to mine through the uranium to get to our first oil patch. The catch is, you need oil to have sulfuric acid to mine uranium. So that's a whole separate challenge. But that was in the first couple of episodes, which are up on YouTube. And I'm sure oil's actually closer than that, because that feels like a long way away. That's the only oil I see. Maybe it really was that far. Artillery was in the south. That would have been our starting area. No, it seems about right. Okay, so we struggled for a long time to get to that oil. The next oil position was down here, which, of course, running a base this size, as soon as you tap one oil, you need another one. A mouse is off-center. Really? It is too. Why do you take so long to tell me these things? Thank you. So yeah, first oil, second oil was in the south, which was the next closest, so that took us a while to get to. And then the third one was all the way out here. So there was a great strive to go west as far as you could to get to that next oil patch, which led to auto miners, landfilling lakes, every trick in the book, along with, you know, one random oil thingy right here, which just bring empty barrels in, bring maybe a few more empty barrels wouldn't hurt. You know, just 500. 500 is a bit too much. I like the enthusiasm game, but maybe a bit too much. Oh, there's only 9 in the network. Okay. So yeah, barrels into a pump jack and back out because every bit of oil counted. And come on, let's get out to the west. I really wish I could. No, I don't really have room for any more legs. Because I do need those shields. Not multiplayer at the moment, so maybe I don't. Because there's also shared damage in this map. 25% shared damage. So if another player gets shot, you take 25% of the damage that they just took. That's going to be the US when they find the most tiniest spot of oil. Probably. So yeah, this was another oil outpost that we finally reached. With an auto miner that's slowly working its way through. This auto miner has cost us a lot of deaths, kills, whatever you want to call it. Because they place down pretty indiscriminately and you can't build anything on top of ore or oil. So if I goes to boom, 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 boom. And auto miners are pretty dumb. And they will put down a beacon right there because it's in the blueprint. And it'll get built 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 times and blown up that many times before somebody goes, what's that? Oh, cancel that blueprint. So yeah, lots of things have been lost that way. Okay, so the only other things to look at are... Why are you not running? Because you literally just got moved forward 2 tiles. There you go. So the only other thing to look at is Wedwer's base and the main base. And hopefully not get hit by any trains along the way. Because that's one of the reasons I need shields. Because 3 shields is the magic number. You need to have 3 shields. That way if somebody else gets hit by a train, you don't die as well. Okay. Wedwer's base. Oh, and 3 people have had a shot at this island. 3 people have failed. Whatever you want to call it, XYZ Island. Which is basically doing nothing at the moment. Because nobody's maintaining it. Nobody's put down miners. It's got no auto miners. So it's just sitting around chilling. And using up coal power and nuclear power. Can potentially make its own nuclear power and has 375,000 coal barrels. It's probably going to go for a while. Wedwer's base, yeah, has literally every spare second he could shove an auto miner in, he has. So they're all different offset at different heights, different lengths, different widths. He's got 3 controllers, 1, 2, 3 buried in here. One's going north, one's going east, one's going west. Another auto miner, another one, a tiny one, because that's all the room he had that was straight. Another tiny one, a slightly larger one. Nothing's been put in here yet. 2 tiny ones, you know, a medium one. I'm a big fan of the 99 wide ones. Unfortunately, I couldn't 99 wide one was like this wide. Actually, I have a blueprint, a GD Mark 6. Yeah. When I started, I stamped down one of those north, one of those south, and then realized I had no room for anything, including the compressor or the brains to run it. So, yeah, I started with about this. Lagbot, you're asking about your base. Your base was here. And yes, it was very much eaten by auto miners repeatedly. This auto miner ate... It actually ate a power pole here, which caused the whole base to blow up. And I had to reload a save. And it ate the auto miner brain for the one going this way, so I've had to be manually controlling that one for 2 days. Because, yeah. Auto miners are dangerous. So, main base. Main base has a little bit of everything. It's got a little bit of bots. It's got a lot of belts. And beacon builds and everything else. As with most community maps, it is... I insist that science is hard capped to 500 per minute. Because 1k is just normally too much for either the server to keep up or different players to keep up. So the actual lab build is all the way over there. And we've got text placed. So there's been a few interesting notes left for a few interesting people. So yeah, I put down labs. That's catered to 500 per minute. Doesn't go any faster. Because that's all we need. You know, we got yellow science fully beaconed, red science fully beaconed, yellow science fully beaconed, blues. You'll see we are bringing in compressed ore wherever we can on belts because they're more UPS efficient than bots going from here, there, and everywhere. Bots only work if you can have small, self-contained bot networks. And 1, we didn't have the space. 2, now we've got the space. Nobody wants to go through the effort of actually ripping it up. So, yeah, smelting, yeah, turning back into ore before smelting it. Purely because we've actually had an iron shortage for literally the whole game. And then occasionally we have an iron surplus when somebody goes to one of the many different outposts and empties them. And fills the car up and brings it back to the main base. And then we have a copper shortage instead. So, yeah. We do have a couple like this, which are feeding in compressed copper ore, smelting it, taking the 20% loss you get when smelting compressed ore, and then spitting out. But it does mean that that's a full smelter block for 1 blue belt of a plate. That's the build when you use a compressed ore for 2 fully compressed blue belts of plate. So it really shrunk down a lot of the builds, and unfortunately, yeah, because of shortages, we've had to swap things from smelting compressed to uncompressing it first, because that 20% loss was kicking our ass. So it's a fairly sort of standard mega base, built by 10 different players over 20 different days, so nothing makes sense. Nothing's where, you know, there is no guarantee that green circuits for green science are anywhere near actual green science. They could be belted halfway around the map or built halfway around the map and botted across. Like, you know, here's military, which is actually part of the original bus, fed in with smelters that were added after the fact. And then, is it still here? Yeah. And then somebody's put in requester chests to feed the last 3, which when things are backed up are the first 3 to be fed. Because they're the first 3 to... No, they're the last 3 to run. But, you know, it's more bot travel. There's a lot of ammo because the biters were set to be extra friendly. Where is green science? Green science... Green science... Makes... So it's compressed. Makes... Yeah, there we go. Green circuits are botted in from who knows where. Oh yeah, Lagbots was doing 1 rocket per hour for a couple of days. Because a lot of the people that went and fractured off to their own little bases decided why not? They'd make their own science and do their own rockets because, like I said, why not? I don't know where it is. Aha! It's down here. So there's a couple of these builds in pretty much every base now. Because we have the stone enrichment mod, we have lots of compressed stone being brought in to then be uncompressed to feed into these stone separation machines, to feed the stone back around, to also get the iron and the copper out, to then run it back through a compressor to recompress it. Main reason is it takes up way less space. You're basically turning 4 stone into potentially 1, either iron or copper. I've actually got... Here's my setup, which was like super compressed because there is no room to work. And it's compressed stone in, hard cap all the inserters to make sure they don't run if these boxes are probably too full. And then it processes, it dumps out the iron and the copper here, and then a filter stack inserter brings any stone back to run through the processor. A second, a third, a fourth, a fifth, a 800th time. And yeah, I've got 1 there, I've got 1 there, I've got 1 there, I've got 1 there, 1 there, and 1 there. So, turns out I've got 6 of them. And I still have 352,000 compressed stone in the network. With more iron ore than anybody else, including the main base. The main base is only winning on insane coal numbers. 10 million coal. What else? We've had Blooper go through with lights. Blooper loves his lights. I love lights sometimes too. So we've got our overall network storage for different science packs, which is really funny because like these are capped to 500, whereas space science is capped to 10,000. I'm not sure why they all capped different numbers. As I said, it's community map. Obviously, military is not really capped at all. Space science is capped at 10,000. I hope. But yeah, some of the other ones are, you know, all the other ones look to be capped to 500. So we've got our copper bunker, our coal bunker. There's another train unloading. We got our uranium bunker, which is like, that's all compressed uranium ore. It's not even processed yet. We've got our iron bunker, which looks like it just filled up. We got a Christmas tree, because every Santa map needs a Christmas tree. I want to do this map in 17. Oh, wow. That'd be insane. 10 million compressed equals 20 million raw. Yeah, it's just a tiny bit of coal. Just the same as somebody set up the robots to auto add robots, but didn't cap it at all. So we've ended up with 11,000 logistics bots and 4.8 thousand construction robots. Because I blueprinted these things down everywhere and actually emptied the bots out of the network. Because there was like 15, 20,000 Logibots in the network at one stage. Okay, so what else? We've got coal liquefaction. Plenty of that, because we've got plenty of coal, but not a lot of anything else. Well, not a lot of oil. We are running on nuclear in the main base. Even then, like, I think we can do 6 gigawatts, roughly. And we are using most of it most of the time. The base is pretty much idle. Yeah, 8K plates per minute. The base is pretty much idle. I actually turned off science a number of hours ago to try and get the UPS number up. It didn't really work. But yeah, that's sort of like like I said, it's a pretty standard mega base built by 15 different people over 15 different days with haphazard communication between one person and the next, which leads to some interesting builds and some interesting things. But I do think it's time we finally got Santa here. because it's way past Christmas, because life got in the way. So we have Santa's runway. We've protected his artillery for the whole month. You know, minus the 4 rerolls we had to do. So I think it's time we actually called Santa in, had him come, pick up all the coal for the naughty boys and good engineers and girls. And that way maybe we can turn off some Christmas lights. Is there anything else chat wants me to look at before I call in Santa? Overall production. All. Oh, so close! 14 million blue circuits. We didn't quite get to 20 million. 53 million compressed iron. Problem is it's in every other outpost and not in the main base. 1.6 billion iron ore. Oh, only 6.4k prod mods. How many speeds? 54,000 speed modules. There you go. The insane numbers you want. 54,000 speed modules. Yeah, 378,000 uranium fuel cells. 411,000 artillery shells. A lot of stuff's used for science now, so it doesn't really count. 6.6 million explosives. I don't know where all they went. Probably towards a biter friend. Okay. I want the command. Well, that brings us to the end of the base tour. In the next episode, you'll actually get to see Santa, who's popping up right now. Alright, thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. See you in the next one. Bye!